All praise, all praise, all praise the woman, Constance Baker Motley. All praise to the woman who studied the law, who knew the law, who understood the law, who interpreted the law, who upheld the law, who used the law
to right wrongs.
All praise, all praise, all praise to the woman who made her birthplace, these United States of America, adopted land of her immigrant parents, adhere to its constitution.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Who was this woman? Ninth in a family of 12 children, christened Constance by her father, Willoughby, and her mother, Rachel. Parents who exchanged the warm waters of their Nevis home in the East Caribbean for the chilly waters of the Long Island Sound. Her name was aptly chosen. Constancy was her life's hallmark. Early on, and until the end of her days, quote, I grew up in a house where nobody had to tell me to go to school every day and do my homework, unquote. She personified steadiness under duress, faithfulness under fire, resolute in purpose, persistent in resolve, fidelity to truth, qualities already evident when young Constance graduated from high school, the start of World War II, and America still reeling from the Great Depression. No family resources for college. She organized the New Haven Negro Youth Council and caught the attention of New Haven tycoon Clarence Blakely. Blakely financed her future, college, then law school. Her New Haven classmates in elementary and secondary school were mostly white. The Baker family grew up in mixed neighborhoods of European and West Indian immigrants. But Constance wanted to see the South, experience the South, observe the South. Her first college year spent at historic Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee, was an eye-opener. She attended the All Southern Negro Youth Conference at Tuskegee Institute and met Louis Burnham, a City College student and a provocative orator, later to be an associate of Dr. Du Bois. She shook the hand of Paul Robeson, the famed football player, Columbia Law School graduate, already winning accolades as a singer, actor. In her own words, the conference was my first exposure to a politically sophisticated Black youth organization with exceptionally accomplished young Black spokesmen. I met for the first time many young Blacks who were active in the anti-war movement, as well as other adult leaders involved in the struggle for Black equality, unquote. She had never associated with middle-class American Blacks, and the fervor for freedom and the plight of returning Negro veterans stimulated her thinking. Nevertheless, she returned back north, an undergraduate degree in economics from NYU, a law degree from Columbia University Law School, a summer intern for several weeks at the NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund, and then in her senior year at Columbia Law, a part-time job as law clerk for Thurgood Marshall, chief counsel for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. In her own words, with a job in hand, I soon found law school an unmitigated bore, wholly theoretical, esoteric, without practical application. Clinical legal education had not yet been born, and civil rights litigation was virtually unknown. The Legal Defense Fund job was just what I needed and wanted. My first inkling that I was going to do something I wanted to with my legal education and my life, unquote. Thus began Constance Baker Motley's prelude to a life of action, prelude to an 18-year astonishing career as a pioneering civil rights lawyer with the Legal Defense Fund, LDF, legal arm of the NAACP. A parallel life path began at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in New Haven with her wedding to Joel Carter Motley II. The couple created a loving union which ended only with her death. Her husband and their son, Joel Carter Motley III, provided a safe haven for the devoted wife and caring mother during the NAACP tumultuous years of struggle to destroy the iniquitous Plessy versus Ferguson legacy. Those separate but equal battles, which would make Constance Baker Motley a superb, iconic civil rights litigating lawyer. Constance Baker Motley argued 10 cases before the Supreme Court and won 9. Once, when introduced as a civil rights leader, she demurred, quote, "I am not a civil rights leader. I am the one who gets the civil rights leaders out of jail," unquote. The breakthrough came May of 1955. The United States Supreme Court ruling in the matter of Brown versus the Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas, unanimously declared that segregation was illegal, a decision which heralded the dawn of a social revolution, a new era in the fight for the civil liberties of the diasporan Africans kidnapped 4 centuries before, to construct with their unpaid labors a new republic in the Western Hemisphere, these United States of America. The pillars of America's apartheid did not fall silently. Massive resistance by the die-hard white segregationists and equally determined Black citizens seizing their constitutional rights, personified by a shy Negro farm girl. Autherine Lucy, the first day of classes, shouting crowds on the Tuscaloosa campus of the University of Alabama. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Ortharine has got to go. The third day, angry mobs in the thousands burning crosses. Ortharine prayed, oh Lord, give me the strength. If I must give my life, to give it freely. The police intervened. Lying on the floor in the back seat of a patrol car, Lucy was driven away. That night, the Board of Trustees voted to suspend her, arguing that they could no longer guarantee her safety. A month later, she was expelled. The Ortharine Lucy case symbolized two forces. One, determined to preserve segregation. The other, equally determined to destroy it. It would be 7 years before a Black student was admitted to the University of Alabama. 33 years later, Lucy's expulsion was overturned. In the spring of 1992, Lucy earned a master's degree in elementary education from the University of Alabama. Her daughter, at the same ceremony, earned her baccalaureate degree. A letter reaches Thurgood Marshall at the offices of the LDF in New York City. Dear Sir, I am submitting an application for admission to the University of Mississippi. I'm seeking entrance for the second semester, which begins the month of February 1961. I am making this move in the interest of and for the benefit of, 1, my country, 2, my race, 3, my family, and 4, myself. I am familiar with the difficulties involved, and I am fully prepared to pursue it all the way to a degree from the University of Mississippi. Yours truly, James Howard Meredith. Thurgood Marshall put the letter on her desk and said, Connie, that's your case. The nonstop and massive resistance of Southern states in defying the ruling of Brown versus the Board of Education, Topeka, Kansas, reached its climax in the response of the highest state officials of Mississippi.
The governor, the lieutenant governor, the board of trustees of the University of Mississippi.
They were enraged that James Meredith, a 27-year-old Black Mississippian, World War II veteran on active duty for 9 years with the Air Force, would challenge their authority. They found it unthinkable that James Meredith had the audacity to defy their decision to ignore the Supreme Court ruling, declaring segregation of the races illegal and apply for admission to Ole Miss. Attorney Motley made 22 trips to the region within the space of the 2.5-year nightmarish ordeal of the court battles and legal proceedings. Biloxi, Columbus, Jackson, Vicksburg, Atlanta, Meridian. Newspapers called her that Motley woman. Local court officials refused to address her as Mrs. She would be referred to as she. Crowds would heckle her with insults. Medgar Evers, the newly appointed field secretary for the NAACP, always met her at the airport on each one of her 22 trips. After large campus riots, 2 people killed, 75 injured, 100 arrested, cars and television trucks smashed and burned as rioters turned on the media. Finally, James Meredith was enrolled and entered as a student into the halls of Ole Miss under heavy security guard. He faced constant, continued hostility and required 24 hours federal protection. There was a guard in his bedroom when he slept. He graduated in 1963 without incidents. The phone call came June 12th, 1963, 3 a.m. A voice said,
"They got Medgar."
In her words, my life became personally entwined with the lives of Medgar and his family during the 2 years preceding his death. I knew that he ran a high risk in Mississippi, but when he was cut down, I decided that the price we were paying to end segregation was too high. I quit. I could not bring myself to attend his funeral. I did attend his burial at Arlington National Cemetery, a rite reserved for national heroes. I did not return to Mississippi until 1983, 20 years later. Oyez, oyez, who have ears to hear, hear, hear ye, hear ye. All praise, all praise, all praise. First Black woman, New York State Senator, 1964. First woman, Borough President, Manhattan, 1965. First woman judge on federal bench in New York, 1966. National Women's Hall of Fame, 1993. Presidential Citizens Medal, President William E. Clinton, 2001. Senior Judge Constance Baker Motley for the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. Preparation and experience, her constant mantra. Preparation and experience. Judge Constance Baker Motley, a shining role model for the ages, saw law as the engine to bring equity and fairness. Hers was a constant and steady flame. Her burning, resolute light never flickered, shone steadily. Her passion for justice, for equality, for excellence in pursuit of the law, never dimmed, never weakened. She knew the law and used the law to bring justice, equal justice under law. For this woman, Constance Baker Motley, all praise for this native daughter of the state of Connecticut, all praise for her. Let justice roll down like waters and righteousness flow like a mighty stream.